What's up? Um, I'll talk a little bit more. I'm hoping to get some more responses. We can have some more back and forth. First of all, to all people that are being hostile and whatnot, we're not enemies. We don't have to argue. We share some of the same opinions. We just disagree on the method to get what we want. So there's no reason to argue. All right, you don't have to. We're not enemies here. This is not. This is not like me talking to this stupid fucking 9/11 truthers. Okay, we don't have to fight. All right, I'm not your enemy. You know, there's no reason for that shit. Okay, I'm not even totally against your ideas. I just question how they're going to be implemented. Okay, and if that pisses you off, not my problem. All right, if you can't. And I'm not talking to Confederal Socialists or any of the big people. I'm talking about the random commenters. If you can't deal with me questioning your ideas, then go fuck yourself, because you can't handle it. You want to talk to the big kids, you want to be with the big kids, you got to be able to handle dissenting opinion. All right. Secondly, I'd like to issue an apology to Confederal Socialists, because he pointed it out, and it is true, that I sort of strawmanned him. And I really didn't mean to do that. I shouldn't have said that Confederal Socialist thinks that the government is this big evil creature that we have no control over. It's just the impression that I get from the way that anti-statists talk. All right, they see the state as the enemy. That's what I meant to say. But I'm not a genius, and I fuck up sometimes, so I would like to publicly apologize for that. I did not mean to strawman you, Confederal Socialists. Um, and I want to clarify some more shit. All right, I don't necessarily even think that democracy is the best answer. There's no guarantee of that. All I'm saying, what I'm merely suggesting to you, is that we have a system right now that is set up, and we have a lot invested in it. Alright? It's extremely complicated. There's a lot of shit involved here. I'm merely suggesting that we try to actually make it work and attempt to use it properly before we throw it all away. Alright? That's all I'm suggesting. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You know, you talk about taxes. I think you should be able to not have to pay taxes for a lot of different shit. Like for schools, alright? I think that if you send your kid to a private school, or if you don't have a kid in school, you shouldn't have to pay the portion of your property tax that goes towards schooling. I don't think you should have to pay that. I've always thought that. There's no reason you should have to pay for something you're not using. Alright, man? So don't make assumptions, people. I never said that you have to do that. That's a great thing about the way that our system works, is you can change anything you want, and you can get rid of it too. You know, I don't think that there should be state requirements for schooling, because Confederal Socialist is absolutely right. The state requirements for schooling makes it more advantageous for most people to go to public schools anyway than to pay extra money to go to private schools. He's correct. I don't think there should be a government-mandated standard for education. I just simply think that there should be some form of public program for people who can't afford private schools, because most people can't afford private schooling, and you all know that. We have to have education accessible to everybody, or we're fucked. Alright? So there's lots of shit you can change. I never said you couldn't do that. I think you should be able to disband your local police department and hire your own private security forces and cut that cost out of your taxes. I don't have a fucking problem with that. You know, I think that if you wanted to have a competitive private road system, then maybe we could form some sort of I don't know what the best way to describe this is. I don't know, some sort of voucher system, where if you are going to use private roads, you have a voucher on your car. I mean, everything is digitized now anyway, that you don't have to pay the gas tax if you're guaranteed to use the private roads. Or you can use a computer that gauges how much you use private roads compared to public roads, and then you only pay the tax that's applicable to the roads that you're actually using that are public roads. That's all shit that's possible. That's not even hard, really. That's all within our technology. You know, I don't have a fucking problem with that. You know, don't confuse me, all right? Just because I disagree on some key points doesn't mean that I'm against change, all right? You know, but I got real questions, and my questions are based on the practical application of your ideas, all right? Philosophy is great, and abstract thinking is good because it gives us new ideas and shit. But we live in a real world with real shit, with real problems that have to be addressed. All right? You can't just pull the government out from the feet of everyone all of a sudden. Even if I supported that, even if I supported a stateless society, you can't just rip the government out from everyone's feet. You can't do that. There's all kinds of shit that needs to be handled. We got people relying on Medicare. We got people that are relying on Social Security. We got veterans that are injured that are requiring money to pay for their injuries that they suffered during war. We have thousands, tens of thousands of nuclear weapons. Where the fuck are those going to go? We have military personnel that would need to be disbanded. This is all practical, real shit that you have to address if you want to be taken seriously, outside of the realm of philosophy. Okay? So if it bothers anybody that I'm actually asking you practical questions, then don't suggest this as a real life solution to your problems. Okay? And I'm sorry if you disagree with me, but I think this idea that it's not fair, that you were born into a situation that you don't control, you know, yeah, fine. All right, you want to change everything to be the way you want it to be? Not everyone's going to agree with you. Then what about the new people that are born? Are we going to change the system every generation? This is real. This is the practical shit you need to talk about, okay? If you want this shit to actually happen, you need to discuss this shit. All right? Seriously. There has to be more than a philosophical discussion. And if you are convinced that the corporations are irrevocably evil and that they control the government with an iron fist and that's why democracy would never work, then I don't understand exactly what you want. I don't understand exactly why you'd want a stateless society, because then the most powerful organizations would be the corporations. Are we going to disband corporations? I mean, what the fuck are you talking about? Explain that to me, please. I really would like an answer to that question, because nobody seems to have the answer. You say it's fucked up, yeah? Well, so how do you fix it? What's the solution? Lots of shit is fucked up, but you have to have a fucking solution. You know, I don't understand how you can have a problem with voting, but then claim that you want to work together to reach a common solution. You know, to reach a solution that is most advantageous for the population at large. How else would you do that? You can't please everyone all the time. That's what I'm saying to you. That's the main thing when I was talking about, you know, sometimes you got to deal with shit you don't like. You cannot please every person all the time. Somebody's going to lose. We haven't even addressed the idea of, you know, how are you going to destroy the government? You're going to raise an army with an organization and a leadership? You know, so get to the practical shit. Talk about that. Those are real questions. I don't know. But, you know, I enjoy the conversation. I'm not your enemy. Don't fight with me. You know, and don't call me uneducated just because I disagree with you. Because, frankly, it's insulting. So. All right, 30 seconds.